230,000 people live in the city and we can see it at the traffic, but let's start from the beginning. This is the city of Tungen, built by Tandorin 92. It uses no mods, no DLCs and no other playsets. Overall it is a pretty compact build with just one main city and farming areas on the outside. If we look at the whole buildable area, there's still a lot more space left. But there are still some really amazing things to explore in the city, so let's take a look at it. The first obvious problem, apparently there's not good death care. Usually this appears because of the traffic. Most of the streets here look quite empty, but there are some, like right here, where there's a lot of people parked. And if we take a look at the healthcare situation, there are tons of hearses driving around. It's just crematorium availability is a bit low. But that's an easy fix. Looking at other infrastructure, electricity, 900 megawatts is produced, 500 consumed, so a lot is exported. Most of the energy production, 855 megawatts, comes from this one nuclear power plant. It's surprisingly close to the city, and right next to it there's also an incineration plant producing the last 20 megawatts that are still open in the city. These 300 megawatts of electricity exported also generate a profit of 1 million a month. That's pretty great, and it's an important part to the budget, which looks quite even, but the city is still making 6 million in profit every month. Education in the city is quite interesting. On a first look on the stats, it looks like the city is barely passing by in education capacity. But look at all these pink buildings, these are all schools. Look at that volume, that's crazy. This entire district, it's just schools, one after another, and they are all filled up. Really insane to see that demand. And it's not even like the density around here is crazy high. Maybe there's some rebalancing to do on the side of Paradox. Fire stations and police stations are spread around the city and everything is well covered. There's even some special buildings here with the Central Intelligence Bureau. And I'm also spotting here, this is the Geological Research Center. If you didn't know, that gives 200% bonus to ore deposits as well as oil deposits. Does that mean there is a lot of natural resource extraction in the city? Well, if we look at it, all these ones down here is just farmland. If we go further to the right, this is stone mining. There is a tiny bit of oil out here and some ore mining over here. So overall, really not too much. So I guess in this city, it would be a questionable expense considering it costs $2.5 million. Public transport, we can immediately see the airport. It goes to tons of outside connections. 16,000 citizens a month are using it, but even more are using subways. There are 3 lines in total in the city, as well as a bunch of bus lines. But now let's take a look at the city. If we arrive from the highway, from the outside by car, as many other people do, we first of course see the farmland. Next up there is immediately higher density and a higher skyline. But first we pass under a bridge with all of these trucks. You might have seen it in the thumbnail. These ones are all trying to export stuff to the cargo harbor, which is right here to the left. Many turns later, we need to spin around all the way, and then here we go. They're all entering here and we can really see how busy it is. From here the ships will take all these goods and bring them out to the ocean. Right next to that harbor we have a larger-ish industry area. We can take a look at pollution. It's really bad, but the city is quite lucky with the wind direction, making sure that none of the pollution makes it over to the city. Speaking about the city and going back to the highway, we can take the exit in the other direction. We have tons of suburbs here. I think they are great inspiration for different builds. I usually tend to build just too much high density. And then as we get in here, we have the density and height of buildings slowly increasing. We can see the disaster response unit here. There's the medical university, even the helicopters of the hospitals. And to the left, I see this building. I wonder what it is. That's the early disaster warning system. So this city is really built out for disaster control. We can see some of these special towers that are in the game. And right in the downtown, there's still a lot of greenery if we look from above. Not everything is sealed with concrete. There are parking lots here and there. And even, I love this one, beautiful alleyways. This looks incredibly realistic. I rarely see this in cities. So we have in the middle the tram track. On the right and left, lots of car parking. This is the sad reality of, I guess, European cities, where it's not massive parking lots, but still parking lots along some main beautiful alleyways, and then pedestrians can just walk around everywhere. And look at that, this is an even larger parking tower. Crazy to imagine that this big tower only takes 400 vehicles, whereas a normal parking garage like this one back here takes 300, even though the size difference is insane. But this is not an episode where we just complain about paradox, but I just spotted something else interesting. I mean, for one, look at all this parking everywhere here. It's pretty crazy. Right here we have an emergency shelter. Technically, I think it's really cool to have it in the game, but there's just not emergencies. Sometimes there's a tornado, but it doesn't really do damage. And overall, the emergency system is not as good as in City Skylines 1. I really hope the developers will soon make something better about that. To the left, we also see the Technical University. And now let's take a look from the viewer deck of the observation tower. We can see the city is really not that large. To all directions, all the city limits are very, very close by. We have another bay here with a seafront area. There's a big train station. There's even, oh, I love this, the new beach and pier assets, even though these trees seem kind of dead. But there's these piers out here. And I spotted one more thing. There's this hill that looks like a volcano. What's on top of here? Oh, wow. This is the castle. It has a bit of parking. People don't seem to like it. There's a roundabout where the bus can change route. And it's right behind the industry area. Not sure if that's the best placement, but it's definitely overlooking the city. Next, let's take a look at the airport. This one is really, really busy. It has the cargo extension, so there's these cargo planes. It has small planes, it has big planes. There's tons of people here. And while it's very close to the city, on the other side, it is just surrounded by farming areas, some of which seem pretty popular with all these people parking here. I love the way how these dirt roads are just built around the main one. We can see tractors driving on the fields. Very nice detail. And then just more of the nice farmhouses. This is a really great farming area. There's some trees in between. And this is definitely some of the best ones I've seen. Usually a lot of ugly buildings spawn in, like over here. I'm not exactly sure what's the difference. It's probably the type of farm. These topography issues where it doesn't look great anymore and everything breaks apart, like this flying tractor glitched in the side of the mountain. I think this is a very great style we can take inspiration from. Just a normal street, bunch of dirt roads around it, making it very structured, but still fading out the city quite well. This was a very short city overview. I hope you got some inspiration from it. If you have any great city, feel free to send that to me. I'd love to showcase more cities and just see where we can get inspiration from. Thank you for watching and happy gaming.